Hello, hello. It's swirling, but I think we are live. So I'm just going to check on my phone here. Hey, everybody. Yep, we're good. Just wanted to check in. It's Debbie Porter. I'm with Mom's Mentoring Circle, and I support moms that feel overwhelmed in motherhood, may feel lost in motherhood, may have not been able to kind of follow through with their own goals, dreams, and desires because of putting everyone else first. And so I support those moms with getting systems in place to be able to do just that, right? You can create the atmosphere you want at home and also a life that you love. So today I'm just checking in. I'm going to be before you maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I wanted to circle back around because of as a result of the live that Cliff and I did last week, which was a lot of fun. Thank y'all for joining in. He was really great. Cliff is wise. And so I thought having him on was going to be very helpful and support everybody. And it did. From the comments that you all left, it was great. So, but there were a couple of comments or questions that were asked that I don't think we fully answered on air while we were live. And so I wanted to take a few minutes today to circle back on those, answer those questions a little bit more completely, take any lingering questions that anybody might have. And then I just kind of want to let you know what we're going to be doing going forward. There's a lot that moms are having to figure out, work through, consider. And I just have a couple of announcements concerning how I want to support everybody in being able to make those decisions from a place of knowledge and having some information, having some experts that maybe you can ask some questions of. So let me see. The first question that I wanted to circle back around from last week when Cliff and I talked about the gift of having different parenting styles, which I really do hope that as a result of hearing us talk about it, you're able to see that if it's in your own home as a gift and not as the thing that's causing the tension or problems, but that you're able to allow each other to work in their strengths and use it as your secret sauce for parenting, and also just as you know, your husband and wife, and as you're parenting children together and building lives together. So, first question I want to circle back around. Someone asked a question about the strong-willed child. Hey, Audra, how are you? That may not have been the word they used. I think the part of what was used was the envelope pusher, the one that kind of steps right up to the line. How far do you go? You know, you don't want to break their spirit. So how far is too far? And I think what we were talking about and trying to say in the answer that we offered was that they are resilient and their spirits don't break easily. But we did not want to give the impression that it's impossible to break the spirit of a strong-willed child. Obviously, you can break anybody's spirit depending on how you interact or handle them. And so the couple of points that I want to make about that is their spirits are not easily broken, but they can be. And so you want to pick your battles. I wrote some notes here so I didn't forget this time. You want to pick your battles. When I was in the grocery stores with my kids when they were younger, I could almost instantly identify the strong-willed child, right? Because the strong-willed child is the one that is dressed for winter in the summertime, and the mother just didn't want to pick that fight. Audra says Ava Grace would be her name. My kid, LOL. That's funny. You got a little you going on over there, Audra. But you can almost always identify the strong-willed child and the mother that just chose, I'm not picking that battle today. I can't tell you how many times it'd be 90 degrees outside, but some kid had on their winter coat and, some other out of season accessory. But I know that mom, and I know that mom that day said, I have got to get to the grocery store. I'm not picking this fight with you. If you want to sweat and be hot and it's 90 degrees, let's have it. Come on. Or it's the child that has on the galoshes and all the rain gear and it is super sunny outside. So we all know or have one of those strong-willed children. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. I didn't always do an excellent job at that when they were little. I kind of wanted things a certain way, right? But let me just tell you, having done that, that's not the fight you want that day. If that's how they want to go outside and it's hot, just don't pick that one. Okay. So you want to pick your battles. You want to be clear. I think we did address this about mirroring, right? You want to be clear with the strong-willed child. Make sure they hear what you're saying. Have them say it back to you so that everybody is on the same page. And you have to be able to do what you say you're going to do, because those children pick up very quickly when you don't, and they use that to their advantage. Okay, so did not want to imply that strong-willed children's spirits cannot be broken. They can be. These are a couple of things to have in mind, have in your toolbox as you are disciplining, loving, raising, these wonderful, amazing world changers and influencers, as Cliff said. Second point I wanted to bring up was the cup. So let me just grab it here. Do y'all remember when Cliff was using this kind of as the cup, and he was talking about how he, with our daughter, talked about, a man using a woman just as an object as opposed to a vessel and pouring into her, right? So our sons obviously also need to know their worth and their value and the value of women, right? Chivalry is not dead. And there is nothing wrong with a young man opening the door for a young woman, right? So the teaching of value and respect and worth goes both ways. The question was specifically for Cliff in raising a daughter, which was why that's the answer that was given. It was a specific question for him about raising a young girl. The other point I wanted to make is someone mentioned about parenting being the hardest job ever. It is. Parenting is not for cowards. It is as hard as it is rewarding, though. And I think when we look at it like that, we're able to remind ourselves that, yes, this is pushing me and pulling me in every direction, emotionally, physically, in every direction. It's challenging me and pushing me and causing me to grow. But it is as hard as it is rewarding at the same time. So kids need all of what we talked about last week. They need the love, the discipline, the trust, the respect, all of it. And when we get out of balance with that, right, we can discipline too much. Someone once said, rules without relationship leads to rebellion, right? So if in your house, it's only about the rules, it's all about the rules, and that interaction and development of that relationship with your child is not there, then the rules without the relationship can lead to rebellion. You can almost watch it happen. So keep in mind, yes, discipline is necessary, love is necessary, trust, respect, all of those different things that make up any relationship are needed with the parent-child relationship as well. Flow in your gifts, in your home. Cliff and I have done that throughout our 30 plus years now of being married. But let me say, I did not say this last week, and I wish I had said it while he was here. He's on a call right now, so I can't even get him over here. Let me say this. The moments where we reached a stalemate, where we really just could not agree and a decision could not be made. And let me just say that was very rare for us because, again, we really flowed with who was more passionate about it, who was willing to spearhead the thing. For us, it was a very easy kind of thing most of the time. I can count probably on one hand when there was a decision that needed to be made that we could not get to agreement on. And in our house and the way we have structured our family, Cliff is the head. He is the husband. He is respected as that. Now, some of y'all are like, grasping your pearls. Let me say this. That does not make me the feet because he's the head, right? I'm the neck. I turn the head. But here's the important part in this. Him being the head does not mean he rules that over me and lords that over me. Him being the head means, in that particular situation, maybe, you know what, Deb, whatever works, I'll follow your lead on this one. Or if it pertains to our sons, right, I have to fall back and follow his lead on that one. So in our home, there was not a whole lot of this when it came to decision making because we each knew our gifts and our roles, and we let each other flow in those without micromanaging and interrupting. So know your gifts, your role, and be able to allow your spouse, your partner, to be able to do the same thing. Okay? So that's all I think I have for what I wanted to wrap up from last week. And I really quickly just want to, before I get off, really talk to you about what we've got coming up. There are a lot of decisions that parents are forced to make right now as it pertains to school, Every single district and locality has their own plan, or they are formulating a plan. Some are like, come on back in. Some are like, well, you got 5 options. You can come part-time, come a little bit here and do some online. There's just, it runs the gamut. And so we, for the next few weeks, Mom's Mentoring Circle is going to be bringing in experts at this 4:30 hour on Wednesday. Occasionally, it may be at a different time, but I'm going to try and stick to the 4:30 on Wednesdays. We're going to bring in experts that are going to be on here to answer your questions, much like what Cliff and I did. The person may not be in the room with me. We may be doing it through Zoom or here on Facebook, but at any rate, it will be here for you at 4:30, probably on Wednesdays. So I've got a pediatrician that's going to come in, that's going to talk about best practices and how to be able to prepare your child, your children, your home, when they're returning from school, if that's the choice that your family is making. How, what are the best practices in keeping everybody healthy and safe as best you can. We will have an educator come on that will talk about what some of the school districts are doing, what they did to make the decision that they did, what they are currently doing, what some school districts are doing as far as physical distancing, sanitizing, just kind of all that's going on in the building. We will also hopefully have a cyber security expert to talk with parents and moms specifically about how to keep everybody safe online. If your child is going to continue with schooling at home, that means more people online. That means more opportunity for hackers to get in. And so we'll have someone come in to talk about best practices there as well to keep everybody safe while everyone is still online and doing the things that need to be done. I'm also hoping to get a business owner who has been homeschooling her children and growing her 6, almost 7-figure business for years now. COVID has not really changed anything for her. I know a couple of people. I've got one that I really want, and so we'll be talking with her and see if we can get her to come on, really to help moms, entrepreneurs, or moms that are working from home for whatever reason, on how to blend that. How do I make all of that and both of that work at the same time? The one young lady I'm thinking about has several children, so most of us will be able to relate to that, and not only relate to it, but really pull from what she's been able to accomplish at her home while running a business and raising an amazing family. Audra says, this is so good. Thanks for creating space for us parents. Oh, Audra, it's my pleasure to be able to provide information that I really know is kind of where moms are right now. I've gotten a couple of DMs, people like, my kid's not going back to school, but I have to work. What am I doing? What is happening? So many different options, many different styles of what this can look like. So those are the plans for the next 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks. So each Wednesday I'll have an expert. What we're going to do is create an event for each of these lives. And that way you can hit interested or going and get a reminder, because I know life takes off some time and then we realize, oh my gosh, I forgot that thing I wanted to watch. I forgot to go to that live I wanted to see. So you'll start seeing for Mom's Mentoring Circle events, and those events are the lives that we normally do just like this. In fact, there is one tomorrow on the Mom's Mentoring Circle Facebook page. I had a conversation with the wonderful people at MOPS, Moms of Preschoolers International. I don't know how many of you know about MOPS, but MOPS was a lifesaver for me when I was a young mom with 2 preschoolers. They were everything. Being able to go to those meetings and have a mom mentor and kind of help me and occupy my kids so that I could actually sit in a room with other moms and really be able to engage and do things that that fed me. So Maxine says, hi, Debbie, will you be able to get questions to the experts before? Absolutely, Maxine. I will take any questions. You all can start sending me those questions as soon as right now, if you want. You can DM them to me. In addition to that, if I did not name an expert that you would like to see here, that I've got some questions for my friends, really, we need to figure this out, please send that to me as well. I am really open to be able to provide you the value and the support around what this new normal is going to look like. So again, right now, we've got a pediatrician, an educator, a cybersecurity expert, and a business owner who has been growing her business and raising her family simultaneously since way before COVID even became a thing. So if you have any questions already that you know you want them to address, please send those in. That would be helpful for them as well. Being experts, obviously, they want to give you the latest and most up-to-date information. So having those questions up front would be fantastic. They will hang around and answer questions after our discussion and the questions that I have pre-planned and laid out for them. So if you have any other experts you would like on, any other avenues that you need touched on or addressed as we are approaching this kind of new normal, please DM those to me as well. All right, folks, this is a short one today. I just kind of wanted to check in and put a pretty bow on last week's live and just let you know what to be looking out for the upcoming weeks. It will be a series. We'll name it as a series, and it will be 4 to 5, maybe 6-part series. Those lives will not be left up like they normally are. You can go back and look at most of my lives, or some of them have been pulled as part of course creation for me. But this series will not be left up. They may be left up for 24 hours, but this series is also going to be part of a course creation. So these lives will not be available forever. In this format. So I will let you know that once we get started. We're thinking right now it would be for 24 hours, those lives would be available, and then they'll be pulled. Okay, so any questions you have for experts, any experts you need to see on, anyone you want on, child psychologists, guidance counselors, principals, any of that would support you in making the decision that we're all faced with right now. Tutors, in-home tutors, if you're thinking about, you know what, I'm not ready to send my kid back, they're going to be here at home with me. I'm working, I need somebody to come in to teach them. I need someone to do that virtually. If you need a virtual educational specialist, whatever you think you're needing support in right now, please let me know. And all those that I've kind of rattled off, that's all on my radar as it is, and we're researching and finding those experts to bring in to answer questions for you, and really just to provide you with the support you need so that when you make a decision for what your family is going to do for this new normal, you feel educated. You feel like I've got some research under me. I've talked to some experts. I've gotten some advice. And I know that the decision I'm making for my family is the best decision I can make at this time with the information I have. Audra says mental health for the family. Absolutely. Consider it done. I'm writing it down now. Absolutely. Got it. All right, folks, if there's anything else you think of for this upcoming 5-week series is what I'm thinking right now, please let me know. Start sending questions if you know you already have them. If not, look for the events that will be created around these lives. Click interested or going, and that will get you a reminder before the live starts, as opposed to just trying to have to remember it in the midst of everything else you got going on. All right. I love you guys. Thanks so much. And I will chat with you soon. Have a great evening.